everyone, my name is Kendall. Welcome to another segment of Science with Kendall. Today's activity, as you can see, I got myself an astronaut helmet. If you're not aware, NASA and SpaceX actually just made history. We launched the first commercial spacecraft with 2 astronauts aboard. It was the first time from American soil in about 9 years, since 2011. So it was a pretty historic day. They did make it to the space station safely. So today I thought that maybe we would do a fun little astronomy activity. It's not going to be an experiment necessarily, but what we're going to do is we're going to talk about stars and star constellations. So first of all, what are stars made of? Stars are actually made of hydrogen as well as helium. And why do they shine bright? Well, what's happening is there's a nuclear reaction, and what's occurring is the hydrogen is being transformed into helium, and the byproduct of that is heat or energy, and that is what's radiating and causing the stars to shine bright. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about star constellations. The activity I'm going to do is pretty cool. First, you're going to want to start off with a black cardstock. You want the thicker construction paper. It will work a lot better than the thinner stuff. A little push pin, look closely. A pen will work. Just anything that you can poke holes into the paper with. And then you're going to want to get patterns from online. And what we're going to do is we're going to trace the star constellations. The ones I'm going to focus on today are Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, Taurus, Orion, and the Gemini twins. So I have poked holes in this just to save us some time, but I will demonstrate what the activity entails. So what we're going to do is you're going to trace the star constellations. You can make up ones if you want. You can copy ones from online, whatever you feel like doing. And then you're going to basically take the paper and you're going to put it on the ground with your push pin, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to poke holes so it forms the constellations. So, and then if you take a closer look, you can kind of see the holes a little bit. You'll see them better a little bit later. So with that being said, we've got all of our holes poked. So now we're going to get to the fun activity. For this, you're going to need a flashlight, preferably a non-LED flashlight. The LED one tends to make it look a little weird. And then you're going to want to turn off all the lights. So for this next part of the video, it's going to be pitch black. You won't be able to see me, but you'll be able to hear me, and you'll be able to see what we're doing. So basically, we are going to shine a light through our paper, and we're going to aim it at the ceiling, so it's like we're stargazing inside. So up here in the left corner, we have the Gemini twins. You can see right here, this is one twin. Their leg is kind of kicked up, and then on the other side is the other twin. And then moving over here, we have the constellation Ursa Major, also known as the Great Bear. What's really cool about this one is it actually includes the Big Dipper, which is not technically a star constellation. It's actually part of another one, which would be Ursa Major. So you can see the Big Dipper right here, outlining it with the laser. But essentially, this is the head of the bear, the legs, the tail, and the body. And then moving down over here underneath Gemini, we have the Little Dipper, which is commonly known. The tip of the handle generally points to the North Star. This actually is called Ursa Minor. This is also known as Little Bear. So up here you have the tail of the bear, and then down here you have the body of the bear. Moving down here to the left corner, we have Taurus. So where here is the horns, this is the base of the horn right here, the body, and then the tail. And again, that's Taurus. Then over here, this guy right there, that's Orion the Hunter. 3 stars next to each other, kind of clustered. Those are the belt. Those compose the belt of Orion. Up here is his one of his arms, his head, his other arm. And then down here we got his legs. So in the sky, this is not the composition of how you'll find these constellations. This is just how I fit them on my paper. Fun fact, Gemini is actually located over towards Orion's armpit. So somewhere over here. And Taurus is also located near Orion. Orion, Taurus, and Gemini are typically best visible between the months of December and April. So you won't see them out right now in June, but you will see the Little Dipper as well as Ursa Major and the Big Dipper. So that's just kind of a little crash course about a few constellations that I had picked out. What's really interesting too is, so if I were to hold this photo flat, notice how you can see all of the stars. Well, that's if I'm looking just straight up. Now, as we know, Earth is round, so a lot of times you won't see certain stars like the constellations or the stars that make up Gemini, Taurus, and Orion. So if I hold it in the center like that and just kind of let it bend, some of the stars are going to be harder to find, harder to see. Another way you can think about it too is, so here on the west coast of the US, this might be what I see, but on the East Coast, it may not be what I see. You know, something might be, you know, completely turned. Like that. Or in different countries. And this is all because Earth rotates around the sun, and these stars shift around while the Earth rotates. Another thing to consider when you're looking at stars, especially here on the Central Coast, we're really lucky because we don't have as much light pollution, but some stars are very difficult to see in well-lit areas like Los Angeles or San Francisco, New York, big cities that constantly have light on. This is known as light pollution. It makes looking at some stars a little difficult because not all stars shine the same. A lot of them are dim, some are brighter. It really just depends. So here on the Central Coast, we get really lucky because our skies get really dark. So we're able to see a lot more than you would in like Los Angeles or one of those bigger cities. So it's definitely something to think about. If you can't get outside to look at the stars, try this. You can make up your own constellations. You can, you know, research different ones, see which ones you like the best. It's all up to you, but it's a pretty cool activity. I thought it was pretty neat, especially with the whole rocket launching. With that being said, I hope you give it a try. Stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for watching.